This is the Realme X2 Pro, the first flagship grade phone from Realme, and these two phones are its main competition. I've had these phones for many months, and now in this video we'll review the Realme X2 Pro and compare its various aspects with the competition. So without any further ado, let's get started. In terms of design, the Realme X2 Pro has a very simple and straightforward design. I'm still not sold on the position of the Realme branding, but it has grown on me since my unboxing video. Dimensions wise, this is a big phone. It's tall but narrow to make it comfortable to hold. It has a metal-in glass build with Gorilla Glass 5 protection on both front and back, and sapphire glass protection for the camera module. There is no official water resistance here, but the rubber gasket on the SIM tray may suggest some kind of splash resistance on this phone. Coming to the OnePlus 70, I really like the satin glass finish on the back, but I am not a big fan of the oversized circular camera bump. Dimension-wise, it's pretty similar to the X2 Pro with a tall but narrow shape. The build quality is also very similar to the X2 Pro, but here you get proper water resistance but without any official IP rating. When it comes to the Redmi K20 Pro, this thing looks absolutely stunning, easily the best looking phone of this bunch. It is a bit smaller than the other two phones in terms of dimensions. The build quality is also on par with the other two phones, and this phone also has P2i nano coating to make it splash resistant. The Realme X2 Pro has a fantastic display. Its AMOLED gets really bright, has 90Hz refresh rate, making it buttery smooth, and also has HDR10 Plus certification. So you can enjoy HDR content on YouTube, but for some reason it only supports HD playback on Netflix. There is dedicated DCI-P3 as well as sRGB modes for creative professionals, as well as DC dimming for people who have more sensitive eyes. OnePlus 70 has a very similar display with all the bells and whistles, including 90Hz, HDR10 Plus, and 1000 nits of peak brightness. It supports HDR in both YouTube as well as Netflix, and it also has dedicated sRGB and DCI-P3 modes as well as DC dimming. While both Realme X2 Pro as well as OnePlus 70 have a water drop notch display, the K20 Pro has a completely notchless display. The screen is AMOLED and has HDR10 certification, but it's still running at 60Hz and has a peak brightness of around 600 nits. It supports HDR on both YouTube and Netflix, and also comes with DC dimming, but no dedicated sRGB and DCI-P3 modes. The Realme X2 Pro and the OnePlus 70 come with stereo speaker setups. Both get really loud and sound great, but the OnePlus 70 offers slightly better sound stage. The Redmi K20 Pro only has one bottom firing speaker, which gets decently loud and sounds good, but it's not as good as the other two phones. In terms of the in-call sound, all three earpieces do a good job, nothing to complain about here. Finally, coming to the 3.5mm audio jack, both the Realme X2 Pro as well as the Redmi K20 Pro have it and provide great sound quality. OnePlus 70 misses out on the audio jack, which is unfortunate, but you can purchase an adapter for it. With the adapter, even the OnePlus 70 sounds great. In terms of audio enhancements, both the Realme X2 Pro as well as the OnePlus 70 offer Dolby Atmos support, while the Redmi K20 Pro has a built-in Hi-Fi DAC to power your high-impedance headphones. The Realme X2 Pro has a pretty impressive quad camera setup at the back. You get a 64MP primary camera, an ultra-wide-angle camera which also doubles up as a macro camera, and a 2x zoom telephoto camera. The fourth camera is just a depth sensor. The front camera is an impressive 16MP unit. The OnePlus 70 and the Redmi K20 Pro also pack in some serious camera hardware. The Realme X2 Pro can take some really good shots in most situations. In terms of comparison with the other two phones, I have made a dedicated camera comparison of these three phones, which you can check out here on the top right corner. To summarize the results, OnePlus 70 has the best color parity among its different cameras, while the Realme X2 Pro isn't very good. For HDR shots, Realme X2 Pro does the best job with the primary camera, while OnePlus 70 does the best job with ultra-wide and telephoto lenses. For macro, the Realme X2 Pro and OnePlus 70 do a much better job thanks to their dedicated super macro modes. In the night mode, OnePlus 70 does the best job thanks to OIS, but with Gcam, Realme X2 Pro and Redmi K20 Pro catch up. Same is the case with selfies, where OnePlus dominates, but with Gcam things are evened out. For videos also, all three phones do a good job. But Realme brings some cool unique features like bokeh video as well as HDR video, so the Realme X2 Pro definitely has an edge in terms of video recording. Overall, the OnePlus 70 has the best cameras followed by the Realme X2 Pro, but with Gcam, X2 Pro comes really close to becoming the best, but is only held back by its weak ultra-wide and telephoto cameras. The Realme X2 Pro is currently running on ColorOS 6.1 based on Android 9 Pie. It's definitely feature-packed, but still not very polished and intuitive to use. But it's getting the new Realme UI based on Android 10 next month, which fixes a lot of its software issues, so I won't complain too much. Still, it's very late to the Android 10 party, as both OnePlus 70 and Redmi K20 Pro have been running on Android 10 since several months. Among these three phones in terms of software, OnePlus's Oxygen OS is definitely the best, and MIUI is also pretty good and packs a lot of features. Coming to the performance, Realme has absolutely nailed it with the X2 Pro. You get the super fast Snapdragon 855 Plus and UFS 3.0 storage, making this one of the most powerful phones in the market and definitely the most powerful phone under 30,000 rupees. OnePlus 70 comes with identical specs, while the Redmi K20 Pro has slightly weaker but still very powerful internals. Coming to the benchmarks, both the Realme X2 Pro as well as the OnePlus 70 produce chart-topping scores, while the K20 Pro remains slightly behind. While testing out games like PUBG, COD, and Asphalt 9, I was able to play all these games at highest graphics on all three phones, but they ran noticeably smoother on the OnePlus 70 and Realme X2 Pro. With K20 Pro I noticed some lags and frame drops here and there, but it was a very minor issue, so nothing to be concerned about. As far as thermal performance is concerned, all three phones do a good job and never get uncomfortably hot. With regards to day-to-day performance and RAM management, I have made a dedicated speed test video, which you can check out on the top right corner. To summarize it, all three phones do a good job, but Realme X2 Pro and OnePlus 70 definitely pull ahead. Next is the battery department. The battery capacity of all three phones is pretty decent. In order to test the battery life, I performed the same tasks on all three phones. That's 6 hours of standby, 6 hours of 1080p YouTube streaming, half an hour of PUBG, half an hour of COD, half an hour of Asphalt 9, and half an hour of Instagram feed scrolling. For this test, all three displays were kept at equal brightness and the refresh rate for X2 Pro and 70 was set at 90Hz, while the K20 Pro is fixed at 60Hz. Always on display was turned off, and here are the results. At the end of this test, with 8 hours of screen on time, the Redmi K20 Pro has the most amount of battery left. But considering the fact that the other two phones were running at 90Hz, even they did a very good job. Overall, all three phones offer good battery life and will be able to last an entire day of heavy use. Coming to charging speed, the Realme X2 Pro comes with a 50W SuperVOOC charger, which is the fastest charger in India as of now. OnePlus 70 comes with a 30W charger, while the K20 Pro only comes with an 18W charger. But it supports up to 27W charging, but that has to be purchased separately. Realme X2 Pro and OnePlus 70 also support 18W non-proprietary charging. With the fastest charging options, the Realme X2 Pro simply blows away the competition and charges completely in under 35 minutes. With 18-watt fast charging, all three phones do a good job, but even here, the Realme X2 Pro along with the OnePlus 70 do a slightly better job. With regards to biometric security, all three phones have under-display fingerprint scanners. They are fast and accurate, but the one on Realme X2 Pro is the fastest one I've used so far. With Face Unlock, K20 Pro's Face Unlock system just can't match the speed of the other two phones because of its pop-up mechanism. All three phones have dual 4G SIM support, but no expandable storage on either of them. Redmi K20 Pro is the only phone that offers a notification LED. Always on display is offered by Realme X2 Pro as well as the Redmi K20 Pro, but OnePlus has to settle with an ambient display that doesn't stay on all the time. OnePlus 70 has a very useful alert slider. The Indian variant of the Redmi K20 Pro misses out on NFC, which the other two phones offer. In terms of haptic feedback, Realme X2 Pro and OnePlus 70 are much better than the K20 Pro. Conclusion time. With its first flagship, Realme has absolutely hit it out of the park. The X2 Pro easily provides the best display and best performance under 30K. The charging speed is the best in India as of now. The audio experience, cameras and battery life are all top notch. Design isn't a standout, but there is nothing to complain about also. Software experience is the only current weakness of this phone, but even that will be fixed to a large extent by next month. So if you're looking for the best phone under 30K, this phone is an easy recommendation. The Redmi K20 Pro undercuts it in pricing, but also misses out on a few things, but that beautiful design and that completely bezel-less display make it very tempting. If you want a premium software experience with speed and ease of use being top priorities, along with having the most capable cameras under 35K, OnePlus 70 is the way to go. Alright, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to the channel down below, and also hit the notification bell to be notified whenever a new video drops in. Thanks for watching.